As of the course of the information, what to say, the computer application pharmacy, we see the two topic of the second unit. That is the first unit of the second half, the information gathering and then feasible analysis, etc. Today we are getting into the important concept of a data flow diagram. How to analyze it? Quite simple, but the product is going to be working. What are the various model? For an example, in terms of our SNS campus, when you are getting into the campus, you will be seeing of the various layout and then diagram. Where is the block of our technology and which is the D block and where are the reports are available and which is the innovation block and which is the AI block and etc. So the map. So in terms of this data flow diagram, we will be getting into the what happened. We already know what is the information system and gathering and requirement analysis. What happened? The information gathering in terms of digital age, we storing our information and data into a computer. Look to the diagram. Database, input, system, output and customer and data flow diagram. How the data flow diagram is related? The data are getting into the database, input, system and output and customer. So DFT in terms of the data flow diagram, either in terms of the project development or anything, we will be getting into the what are things are getting in and how the things are working. See here what is the data flow diagram? Refers to the graphical representation of the flow of data through an information system. For an example, I give an example about a flow diagram of the various block in SNS. Suppose you are going to meet at Anna University, Gitti campus or maybe at MGR University. You need to meet to the what to say the CEO block. So you need to flow the diagram. You should not enclose the people unnecessarily. Everyone will be quite busy in their work. So what happens? The flow diagram, flow representation. Similarly, when you are traveling a bike in a road, no more of the instructions to you. This is a bump and etc. This is a lowest pump is getting it. This is a banking of just the signs are given to you. With help of the signs, what happened? You need to speed up and then speed down and activate to the traffic condition. You should not travel in sort of what. So the visual presentation is very very important. The DFT is very very important. Overview of any information system. Visualization of processing of data. What's the visualization? The pictorial representation of a particular process, product, or maybe of a college, university, and etc. Information will be entered in the system and will be processed. So in such cases, data flow diagram will be using of various symbols. What happened in terms, what happened, which is the input, what is the process, and what is the output, and which is the decision making, etc. By looking to the diagram, you can get into see the process. Process in the sense what happened. Now we are getting to the this event in terms of the prototype. We will be getting in terms of flow diagram process. What are various process? How it is stored and how the flows are getting in and where is this table. And again the DFTs are classified into various types such as physical and logical. Logical in the sense what happened? Virtual. We cannot view it. But without the logical what happened? The work will be not activated or initiated. Similarly what happened? We cannot see our soul. Similarly, whenever any activities are getting in, some of the components can be given. But in terms of the logical and then what to say AI concept oriented, the things will be happening. But what happened? But we cannot visualize it. We cannot have it virtual. Virtual is in the sense what happened? Imagine it, but the things are working. No more of a what to say. This is the physical component about our mouse or maybe computer or maybe our laptop and then keyboard. But the inner concepts will be working, which is called logical. The logical DVT mainly related to the processing and the activity. Inside we have provided the information of the system, physical and etc. How the flow diagram will explain the various things. Such as here. So the DFT diagram is the overall diagram that is in terms of flow diagram, flow chart or etc. So we see the emphasis different idea. In terms of this prototype, what happened instead of the documentation, we will be finding a very boring issues in terms of again reading of all the pages. To avoid that, we look into the diagram. What happened? Finding the state of the work is here. We need to move to the next state. What happened? And 10 models are getting involved. We are in the third state. We need to work to the fourth state. So what happened? We put a tick. Already 3 states of the works are completed. We will move to the fourth state. In terms of the fourth state, what happened? We will be getting it. So the visualization is very very important in terms of what happened. Similarly, we will be having a various options in terms of the social media and etc. And also in terms of presently our AI phone. What happened? The smartphone. We will be using our flow chart and diagram and images. The data flow diagram is similar to an image or picture, which will be giving in terms of the thing. How to test it? We will be asking the people whether the flow diagram is sufficiently enough to gather the information. If it is okay for you, it is useful for you. That by getting up the feedback from the people, it's not fun. We need to fine tune it. Fine tune it, and again we need to change our DFT diagram, data flow diagram for our system and give it to the things. So the today class what happened? Already in two class we know what is information system and gathering, and followed by requirements gathering and then analysis. And DFT, what the importance of the flow diagram in terms of developing a project into the software, and also the flow diagram in terms of the public, in terms of transport, or maybe in terms of social and etc. And maybe the flow diagram in the airport and then bus stand, or also in terms of a university campus. Thank you, my students.